Because Donald Trump is a dum-dum, he thinks you're a dum-dum. He thinks I'm a dum-dum. He thinks the American people collectively are just absolute idiots that can have their minds and their memories wiped like a goldfish. There is an insidious plot to erase history in an effort to rewrite history directly related to the January 6th insurrection. Donald Trump's devised conspiracy against the country to overthrow the government by way of overturning a free and fair settled American election, where he dispatched a violent mob of thousands onto the United States Capitol, where they threatened the lives of members of Congress if they did not fail to certify the election of Joe Biden and then reinsert Donald Trump. These are facts. This is an incident that we witnessed on live television. And now, Donald Trump is trying to erase all evidence of it, erasing pages from the DOJ, erasing references to it. It's remarkable. Listen to this headline from CNN. Trump wiped January 6 convicts' records clean. Now his DOJ is wiping evidence of rioters' crimes from the internet. And they're going to talk about this guy named Brandon Straka. And I just did a cursory Google search of Brandon Straka's name. And then I clicked on the United States Department of Justice link to his name. Oddly enough, page not found. A convicted, formally convicted, currently pardoned criminal who attempted to overthrow the United States government in the name of Donald Trump, at the behest of Donald Trump, entered into a wide-ranging conspiracy against you to defraud your vote, to remove your vote and your say and your power in democracy, and now not only off scot-free, but attempting to erase the complete historic record, not just criminal record. As President Donald Trump, as Trump this week sought to rewrite the history of his supporters' attack on the U.S. Capitol, a database detailing the vast array of criminal charges and successful convictions of January 6 rioters was removed from the Department of Justice's website. The searchable database served as an easily accessible and up-to-date repository of all January 6, 2021 cases prosecuted by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia. The U.S. Attorney's Office declined to comment. Of course they did. Of course they did. They now work for Donald Trump. We need brave people now more than ever, more than in the first term. We need people to step out. We need people to email me. I need to set up some kind of what's the Proton? Is that the super secure email? Or get myself a Signal so people can start feeding me information from the Donald Trump administration. This is not about, look, a presidential pardon isn't just about erasing the criminality. It's about creating a new ability for the person to go about their lives as a non-convicted felon. That's, it's a mercy. It is about mercy. But it is not, what it is not about is rewriting history. They were still convicted. They still committed crimes. Just because you've been imbued with a presidential pardon doesn't make the crime having not happened. Brian Sicknick, the cop, the Capitol Police officer, is still dead. The traitor to our country, Ashley Babbitt, still dead. It happened. It is history. And no amount of erasing Department of Justice pages or cases from the internet is going to make it not true. The removal of the comprehensive website cataloging the largest criminal investigation in modern department history coincides with Trump's decision to pardon all convicted January 6 defendants. The president also released early from prison 14 people convicted of seditious conspiracy and asked the federal courts in Washington to dismiss the more than 300 cases that hadn't yet been resolved. Judges over the past few days have pushed back on what they called Trump's whitewashing of the mob's attack of the Capitol as the administration quickly wound down cases against some of the most violent rioters who injured police. The DOJ site's removal was celebrated by those convicted for their actions on January 6th and their supporters. Quote, "This is a huge victory for J6ers," Brandon Straka, who was among those pardoned by Trump for his role in the Capitol riot, wrote on X, adding, "This site was one of countless weapons of harassment used by the federal government to make life impossible for its targets from J6. You mean you were a felon like any other felon who has difficulty navigating the world of employment and loans and social, like everybody else? Nary a word about this particular obstacle for former convicted felons until it affected you, huh? Typical conservative. He only found his empathy once he found his tragedy." Straka credited the new Trump-appointed acting U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C., Ed Martin, for the site's removal. Martin was an organizer. Take those two sentences in stride, all right? Straka credited the new Trump-appointed acting U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C., Ed Martin. He's the acting U.S. attorney for Washington, D.C. Martin was an organizer with Stop the Steal and was involved in the financing of the January 6th, 2021 Trump rally on the Ellipse that occurred directly before the attack on the Capitol. He's now the acting U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia, the jurisdiction within which I live. Insurrectionists are in the highest positions within the Department of Justice. Straka wrote that he had campaigned for the site's removal because every time a potential employer, landlord, new social or business contact, etc., would search somebody targeted from J6, they would read a dossier on each person filled with FBI and FOJ accusations and narratives that were never proven. Never proven. You were convicted. What are you talking about, you dipshit? They were never proven, along with links to documents with even more damaging allegations. They were not allegations. They were proven by a jury of your peers. They were evidence. Finally, the government's claims, however, were proved through the courts. About 1,250 people were convicted of crimes related to January 6th. Insulation from the cult leader. A clean slate to do more crimes for which you may be pardoned again, or just not convicted overall. This is the same Justice Department, by the way, that is currently was in process, I don't know, we're going to find out this week, I hope, that was investigating and going after someone who threatened to kill me and kill and rape Brittany Page. We'll see where that goes. And if you think I'm not going to make a bunch of noise if that goes away, I don't think you know me very well. Anyway, what do you think about this? Can't erase history, Donald Trump. History's history. Just because you've never read a book doesn't mean there aren't books out there. What do you think out there? You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. You can email me, as always, daily at dollemore.com. Please consider supporting this work, helping me produce these videos, helping me reach the millions of people that I do every month, that I'm blessed enough to reach every month. Click the join button below. For $2 a month, you can become a channel member. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both those are fantastic ways to help support this work. Follow me on social media. Tell me how wrong I am there. I am at Dollemore. Love to hear from you. And I will see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.